All right. Welcome, guys. We're going to be doing our recap today. It is Tuesday, June 6th. I'm up around 2.2K on the day. I took one trade in the morning, so let's go over the trade that we took on the live, why I took it, what was my bias going into the day, and, stuff like that. So jumping in, I want to start out on the bigger time frames and kind of understand what my bigger time frame bias is. Now, going into the day on ES and NQ, I did have kind of a neutral bias. I had a bias for kind of both ways that we could go. Number one, on ES, we could see we're continuing to hold this 30-minute fair value gap. We've had a move down. We've swept these lows past here, and now we're starting to consolidate on this 30-minute. So going into the day, I told the team I wanted to see one of two things. I either wanted to see this 15-minute high get swept, or I wanted to see this 15-minute low get swept. After one of those levels got swept, I wanted to see, okay, how are we going to react once that level is now taken? Are we going to displace back inside the range? If we go lower, are we continue to sell off? That's the biggest thing. We're here to see the reaction. So in the morning, ES came down, swept this level, and it instantly started seeing buying pressure get bought right back up, right? So if I'm looking at the 15-minute here, you can see the way that this candle actually closed. Right when this candle closed, right, if we're looking at the 15-minute chart here, you can see we never closed below this. This is what we want to see for a liquidity sweep. People always say, what does a liquidity sweep look like? This, not a single candle closed below this. We have a big push down, move back up, the next candle opens in this range. That is what we want to see. So going down to a smaller time frame, where do I look for my entry? I want to see market structure shift with good displacement, and then a fair value gap, an order block, a PD array, whatever it is, that's going to be my entry, right? So here we go. Going down here, looking at the 1 minute, we get a market structure shift right here, pulling back into this inverse fair value gap right here. See how we pull this over? We now break above this. Now this will act as support. Once we pull back, notice not a single candle close below this inverse fair value gap. Pull back to this order block right here, as well as a bigger time frame volume imbalance. I enter long inside this area. Decent amount of risk on this, not too bad. We end up getting bought up. And again, what's my target? Whatever buy side liquidity is. So once we sweep that sell side level, I zoom out to a 15-minute and I see whatever that next level is that's going to be targeted. So we're holding 30-minute fair value gap. We've swept 15-minute low. Now what's the target? The next buy side level. So this now becomes our next buy side level because this is our next prominent high. That's the target. You can see we get a beautiful push to the upside and a beautiful target hit. Again, 3.25 risk on this. That is how we want to trade. Very patient in the day. And even though I might have a little bit of a short bias going into the day, I have the right and the knowledge to be able to flip it if I see some sort of trade start to play out in ways. And you have to be able to do that as a trader. Sometimes you might go into the day with, a short bias or a long bias, and then the market starts giving you signs that bias might start to plan out in a different way that you might expect. And as a trader, you have to push the ego to the side and say, you know what? I'm okay being wrong because I'm adjusting myself. A lot of traders do not want to admit that, and they end up just taking the loss because they don't have the balls, or, they just have such a big ego to actually flip their bias. So I could be bearish going into the day, and I was more bearish on NQ going into the day. The reason is because I want all of this now to become low resistance liquidity run. Notice on this 15-minute time frame, we have all of these lows stacked up, right? And it kind of did turn into low resistance today, but I said if we were going to take out, this low, this low, this low, this low, most of the time we're going to take them all out at the same time. And we kind of did, right? We had this big push down at the open. Now, I would have wanted to see this low also get taken, but we didn't, which was fine. And then notice we sweep that and then instantly come back up to buy side. So on the 4 hour, though, I was a little bit more bearish because I wanted to see retracement back to discount, right? Going from the high to the low, we have this 4 hour fair value gap. So going into the next couple days, I would want to see NQ have a little bit more of a retracement, during the week, and possibly see us retrace back down into this 4 hour fair value gap. We can see, noticing we're at the highs, we're starting to consolidate a bit, right? Not having a lot of strength as we used to see, here and here. So I'd like to see us retrace back to this and then possibly see higher from there. So again, going into the day, being able to, see the market play out, switch your bias, adapt to whatever the market's showing you. That is the way that you are going to survive as a trader. Gaining experience, being able to look at something like this and say, you know what? This is now, I might be long buy or short bias on a bigger time frame, but right now we're super bullish, so I'm going to take that position, right? Being able to adjust different time frames. You might think, one idea on one time frame, one idea on the other. If they're clashing, you have to figure out how you're going to position yourself knowing that information. People do not want to put in that work, right? They don't want to, think about it that hard. You do. If you want to take 8+ quality setups and be a profitable trader, you need to be very picky with what you trade. It is quality over quantity. Do not jump into the market taking 10 trades, buy, sell, trying to scalp every little move because you will always blow up. Quality over quantity, trust me. So then there was another really nice setup in the day. Unfortunately, we were out, so I did not take this. But again, looking at the 15-minute on NQ, we come up, sweep this 15-minute high. What do I look for now? Break of structure, fair value gap. Beautiful setup on NQ later in the day. We have break of structure right here. Again, look at the displacement. Look at the displacement. This is what we want to see when we see a break of structure, right? Big push. It's not like we, come down, sweep this low, and then instantly move back up. It is a big candle to the downside. Then we get the fair value gap right here. Tapped in right here. Boom. Where's your stop be? Whatever the recent highs, you could put it here. I would most likely just put it here for tight risk because I would not want to see us get back above that. What's my target? Whatever sell side is. Notice, sell side's this right here. Boom. Banger fucking trade. Again, buy side, sell side. Once you learn how the market moves and how the market hunts liquidity, you will be able to take advantage of moves like this. Look at the risk reward, an 8.3 risk. Now, a lot of the times it won't actually be 8.3 because I'd probably scale, I'd scale some of my position here and then I'd maybe scale some here. So a lot of the time the risk reward isn't going to be that good. Most of the time it's probably going to be around here, right? It's still 5 risk reward. Insane. That is what you want to take. That is what you want to take. Notice, I can lose maybe 4, maybe 5 trades in a row. And honestly, I cannot even remember the last time I've lost 4 or 5 trades in a row. I've maybe lost 3 in a row in the last maybe 2 months, 3 months. But something like this, you want to be able to have that room to take a loss, and then all you need is one of these trades to make it back, right? And the way that I trade, there's always a setup every single day. There's not every single day, but a lot of the times you will always get opportunity if you're patient. If you're patient, you will get good opportunity. If you're not patient, you're going to end up taking some boof trade because you don't have the patience to sit there and wait for an actual good quality setup, right? Because you're focused on the money. If you're focused on the money, you're not focused on taking good trades because you don't really care what the market does. You're so attached to the money that you could enter, buy, sell any time of day and then take it off and somehow make money because that's all you care about. Once you distance yourself from the ideology of making money, you will start to make more money. Trust me. Focus on the actual charts. What is the market doing? You will never see me when I go into the day being like, you know what? I would be up like 5K right here, maybe 9K, I'm down maybe 2K. I don't care about the money. Disattach yourself from the money. All it is it's a tool. Again, trading is a risk game. You put money on the table, you accept the risk, so that way you don't have any emotion on the table. But if you don't accept the risk, you're going to be emotional the entire day. Now, a lot of my Discord had a very hard time dealing with this trade. Look at this trade. They had a hard time with it because we entered in long. They started to see chop, a lack of volume, right? We get a big push up here, and then we start to chop. What do you think everybody's doing? They're freaking out. Some of my people ended up cutting their position. They literally took it off right here at like break even. Why? Does anything showing against you? No, because you haven't accepted the risk. You're afraid to lose. And in that sense, you let emotions take over and don't let the market play out what it needs to be. We have an edge. We have a system that is repeatable. Once you build confidence with that, you cannot make dumb decisions like that where you're in the middle of a trade. You think it's going to go against you. You haven't accepted the risk. You're afraid to lose. So you take it off just for it to go right back in your favor, hit your price target, and then you're frustrated with yourself and want to punch yourself because you're fucking stupid. You get me? Do not let yourself get affected by choppy moves. There should be only 2 outcomes with your trade. 2. Stop loss gets hit, price target gets hit. Other than that, you should not touch it. Now, unless you get stopped at break even, but unless you get... The only way you should get stopped at break even is if you've already taken off contracts. If your price target's already been hit, you move to stop to break even, then it can get stopped at break even. But once you enter, hands up, let the fucking market do its thing. I guarantee you will find yourself being a lot more profitable and consistent if you literally just enter, set your stop loss, set your price target, walk away, and come back. I guarantee it. Not a lot of people have the discipline and the emotional control to be able to watch the market in a position, see their P&L fluctuate, and not get affected by, this kind of move. Because you start second guessing yourself. You should be like, why is it not going in my favor? The market does whatever it does. It does not care. The market will do whatever it wants to. Once you stop taking it personally is when you will start seeing improvements. So many traders come into the space and they're, like, oh, the market fucked me today. Oh my God. No, it didn't. You fucked yourself because you probably were over leveraged. You probably weren't trading your edge. You don't understand market conditions. And then you end up blaming the market. You will never be successful if you blame the market. It is you versus yourself, not you versus the market. Take accountability for everything you do. Figure out what you did right. Figure out what you did wrong. Move on from it and use it to grow in the future. It's that simple. You just have to have logical common sense on any growth. If you want to grow in anything, you have to take accountability for it. Always. So, hope you guys enjoyed this little recap. I plan to do a lot more of these in the future with, trades, losing days, winning days, just kind of here and there, maybe a couple times a week, depending on what it is. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, going over a little bit into psychology as well, and the trade we took. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.